What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel, another realignment video on the channel. In the past, I've made videos on realigning a lot of different divisions or conferences, like my merging of the NFL and the CFL. There's a lot of other ones. If you want to go check them out, I'll leave a link in the video description. But today, we're going to kind of piggyback off of that CFL video because both the NFL and the CFL are involved in this, but they're going to be joined by two more leagues to create a bit of a North American mega league. We're taking the four biggest gridiron football leagues in North America, which are the already mentioned NFL and CFL, adding on the UFL, which is the United Football League, a league which is currently in its first official season. And then we're going to add a league that I just found out about not too long ago in the LFA, which is the Liga de Fútbol Americano Profesional. Don't come at me if I pronounce that shitty. I am severely white, so I may have butchered that. The LFA is an American football league based in Mexico that started back in 2016. They're made up of 9 different teams throughout the country. The team names are in Spanish, but most of their Wikipedia pages do offer an English translation. But a couple I did have to plug into Google Translate, so if you're like me and only know the 2 required years of foreign language classes that I mainly cheated my way through, maybe these translations will help you out. So first up, we have the Caudillos de Chihuahua, the Saltillo Dinos, Fundidores de Monterrey, Galgos de Tijuana. This next one's really hard for me. Gallos Negros de Querétaro, Jefes de Ciudad Juárez, Mexicas de Ciudad de Mexico, Raptors de Naucalpan, and Reyes de Jalisco. So that was pretty rough. Now I have the English translations that were listed on the Wikipedia pages or Google Translate, but I'm going to start with the Wikipedia pages. First, we have the Saltillo Dinos, the Monterrey Smelters, Tijuana Greyhounds, Querétaro Black Roosters, Ciudad Juárez Chiefs, Naucalpan Raptors, and the Jalisco Kings. And for the Google Translate ones, there was 2 of them. The first one was the Leaders of Chihuahua, and the second one, actually, Google Translate put Mexicans from Mexico City. Due to the absolute struggle I have with speaking Spanish, I'm just going to go and refer to these in their English form for the rest of the video. So now that we've covered the LFA, we're going to combine them with the other 3 leagues. I've already covered the other 3 on my channel before, so I'm not going to go through any reintroduction of them. So with the combination of all 4 of these leagues, we're set with 58 different clubs to organize into divisions. This is an annoying number because I can't separate all the teams into equal divisions. I wasn't super content with some of the versions I put in this alignment, but I did narrow it down to 1. I have 2 more concepts as well, and if you want to see those included in a video, become a member of my channel to get exclusive access to videos that I wouldn't post regularly to my channel, along with other perks. Check out the link in the description to see more. So with that, we are going to get into our newest league, the North American Football League, where we do have a couple of rules before we start diving too deep into it. Number 1, don't hang on too hard to history, and by that, I mean don't be surprised if you see some rivalries being split due to realignment, whether you're a CFL fan, NFL fan, UFL fan, or an LFA fan, because if you're hoping that doesn't happen, don't hold your breath, because it's going to happen. And rule number 2, if you are surprised, see rule number 1, and don't get too upset about it. It's just a silly little YouTube video, so let's have some fun with it. All right, now, let's jump into the world of the NAFL. The NAFL is going to be split into 2 conferences in this video, those being the East and the West. We're going to start in that East Conference with the North Division, where we have the Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles, New York Jets, New York Giants, New England Patriots, Montreal Alouettes, Ottawa Redblacks, and the Toronto Argonauts. In this division, we have the most Northeastern teams within our league altogether, and again, to some, the quite controversial trifecta of New York teams all share the same division. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite fit the Tiger Cats in with the Bills, even though they're right next to each other, because the Central Division has the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Michigan Panthers, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, Cleveland Browns, and Pittsburgh Steelers. I still put the Tiger Cats in the same conference, but in the division right next to them. Some rivalries do remain, with 3 out of the 4 NFC North teams being in here, and the Browns and Steelers from the AFC North. This is also the only division to have a mixture of 3 leagues, being the CFL, UFL, and NFL. Now to the South Division we go, with the Indianapolis Colts, Cincinnati Bengals, DC Defenders, Washington Commanders, Baltimore Ravens, Carolina Panthers, and Tennessee Titans. 2 DC teams and 1 rivalry remain with the Colts and Titans. It's hard to call it a South Division with teams from like Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and the DC area, but it is lower than the 2 divisions in the conference. But it's also not the lowest division in the conference either, because that title belongs to the Atlantic Division, which holds the Memphis Showboats, the Birmingham Stallions, Atlanta Falcons, Jacksonville Jaguars, Miami Dolphins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the New Orleans Saints. Honestly, this could have been called the South Division instead, but 4 out of the 5 states are bordering the Atlantic Ocean, so that's why I went with the Atlantic title. There's 3 Florida teams along with 2 UFL appearances in the Showboats and Stallions. So that wraps it up for the Eastern Conference, and now we're going to move to the West, kicking it off with the Central Division, where we have the St. Louis Battlehawks, Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos, Arlington Renegades, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Roughnecks, and Houston Texans. This division has the most UFL teams in the league, and they also have 4 out of the 5 Texas teams. The last Texas team in the San Antonio Brahmas are in the South Division, which also includes the Monterrey Smelters, Saltillo Dinos, Jalisco Kings, Querétaro Black Roosters, Naucalpan Raptors, and the Mexicans of Mexico City. Now, the South Division is the only division without an NFL team in it, mainly because it's dominated by the majority of the LFA. So now we're going to cover the rest of the LFA teams in this next one, the Pacific Division. In this division, we have the leaders of Chihuahua, the Juarez City Chiefs, the Tijuana Greyhounds, the Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams, Las Vegas Raiders, and the San Francisco 49ers. I named this one the Pacific Division because there's a lot of California teams and the most western located Mexico teams. So we've just about covered everybody in the league except for 2 NFL teams and the 5 remaining CFL teams. So in our final division, the North Division, we have the Seattle Seahawks, the BC Lions, Calgary Stampeders, Edmonton Elks, Saskatchewan Roughriders, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and the Minnesota Vikings. The eastern portion of the CFL gets to stay together, while the Vikings and Seahawks join them. So that is going to do it for the conference division realignment portion of the video. But I do want to touch on something that I haven't really addressed in the other videos, and that is rules and playoff formatting. When it comes to rules, I did have a little bit of concern regarding the CFL rule set compared to the NFL rule set in that merger video, where people were also saying that the CFL and NFL are 2 different sports. I'd say that they both fall under gridiron football within different rule sets, just like how the UFL is against the NFL or the CFL respectively. But since the fan bases of each league, the rule sets, especially for the CFL, their rule sets are so near and dear to the fans that I found a way to kind of include them inside the league. For each home game in Canada, they will be played under the CFL rules. For every home game at UFL stadiums, they will be played under UFL rules. And then it's the same with the NFL and the LFA home games because they play under the same rule set. This is kind of a way to level the playing field when it comes to interpromotional games and to keep each league alive within the NAFL. The same thing would apply if it carries over into the postseason. If there are Canadian League home games, they would be played under the CFL. Kind of a more emphasis on the home field advantage part that you get when you win a division, when you have a higher seed than the other team. And if the NAFL decided to hold their Super Bowl of sorts in Canada, then the Super Bowl would be played under the CFL rules. Even if that game doesn't have any CFL teams at all, it's for the home stadium rule set. Maybe it would make the league a little bit more flexible when it comes to the rules. It would introduce all these other teams to the rule set and make it more so balanced. That's just something that I thought would be a little interesting if I were to design a postseason of sorts for the NAFL. And that playoff formatting would probably be like the old NFL style playoff formatting. But since there are 8-team divisions in each conference, you could do the 4 division winners, 1 second place finish for each side, and 2 wildcard teams with top division winner having a bye. This could give the 8-team divisions a little bit of a rebound from the disadvantage that they're at with having more teams in their division anyway. So if you pair that unique standing style of the playoff formatting with the unique rule set of the playoffs or the season alone, it could make the playoffs more interesting. It could make the league more unpredictable when it gets time to get into the postseason and decide your champ. But that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my creation of the North American Football League. If you are interested in seeing the extended edition, make sure to become a member of the channel. I'll have it posted within a few days of posting this video. It'll have 2 additional, maybe even more additional realignments that you will see exclusively, not posted publicly to this channel. If you're not interested, hey, thanks for stopping by and watching another video. I hope you enjoyed it, but until the next one, I'll see you later.